pretend that I am okay, but that's not what gets me. What hurts the most was being so close and having so much to say, and knowing what could have been, not seeing you, that loving you is what I was trying to do. It is hard dealing with this pain of losing you everywhere I go, but I am doing it. Getting up and getting dressed, living with this regret. But I know if I could do it over, I would trade, give away, all the words that I saved in my heart, that I left unspoken. At the age of 13, I became such a different person. I went from a happy, positive, active person to being locked up in my room surrounded by 4 white walls. I became a pessimistic, introverted person and lost my faith. Things from then on piled up, and I felt like I had hit rock bottom. From the physical distance between my father, not having a house to move to, living with a stepfather, school transitions, loss of friends, sleep difficulties, loss of appetite, weight issues, and loss of pleasure in activities. I became depressed and my thrill of living was gone, and I began physically harming myself. In the chapter, Truth, My Life, How I View Things, I write about how there was a time when I would cut. It was a release. Time can heal wounds and leave scars. Let us not forget the lessons learned. When I cut, it is like a release. It's a weird feeling that comes the other one. I cause myself physical pain to replace emotional pain. People have different ways of showing and letting out their emotion, and well, this is how I let out mine. How I let out my emotional tension, physical discomfort, pain, hurt, anger, fear, and hate. At the age of 16, I began having suicidal thoughts, and my cousin, who I'm extremely close to, suggested I see a therapist. On November 28, 2006, I attended my first appointment with Annette at the Sunset facility at CPC, now known as the Institute for Child and Family Health. I also began seeing a psychiatrist, Dr. Albraida, since December of 2006. She attends to her patients wholeheartedly and with professionalism. She makes the worst situation seem bearable and displays interest in her patients' well-being. When all this began, all I knew is that I felt different. Not being aware of my depression, I did not recognize what I was feeling. I was in denial that I was depressed to the point where I kept to myself until my emotions got the best of me and I attempted suicide. In the chapter Prelude My Great Escape, I write about the day I attempted suicide and what my mind retained. What I could never understand, nor could never recognize then, which is the fact that we are loved beyond our ability to comprehend. And as part of the book, I would like to read this little excerpt. My whole life changed on July 12, 2007. On the Thursday morning, I woke up thoughtlessly and very much blindly. I woke up in the morning knowing it had to end. I went and got the letter I had written to everyone close to me, trying desperately to explain that there are just some people not wired right for dealing with life. I went searching for every sort of medicine possible. I walked to the bathroom shut and locked the door. I laid on the cold tile floor on a napkin handful by handful. I began to take all the medicines. I knew that if I thought about anything, it would just get harder. Finally, I decided it was enough. Cocktails of pills, I swallowed each one. I went into the bathroom corner, behind the door, and laid my head against the wall and closed my eyes for just a minute or two. The only thought was that I knew today was my last. Seconds ticked, minutes went oh so slow, if the world stopped where it twirled. Somehow, life was bigger. Then I pressed a cold razor to my skin, cut uncontrollably like a wild beast. All I could do was wait. I could not even cry. All I ever cared about was gone, and all I ever knew forgotten, and all I ever loved lost. I was staring at the blade and holding in my hand what used to be my life. Before I knew it, I was grasping for air, unable to breathe like a fish out of water. Although calm, too calm, I picked up my cell phone and telephoned my best friend Diana. She said she did everything in her power to remain calm, while inside her heart were pounding like the sound of horses' hooves, stomping on the ground as they walk. She kept telling me to stay with her as well. Suddenly, I did not know how I got to this point. Before I could think of anything else, I had made it to my mother's bed and popped it on like lead. My body was weak and heavy while shutting down on me, so I bit my lips and closed my eyes and prayed to fall asleep or die. I had told Diana I had to go and that I was sorry. I realized in that 1 second of painfully clear consciousness what I was doing. I fully believe that it was the love and grace of God that granted me that one moment. I do not remember if it was faster than it seemed, or time was really at its own pace. But to me, time did not exist. And it all went too fast for me. But before I knew it, I heard sirens from a distance. I thought I was dreaming. On the other side of the phone, I heard, "I'm sorry, I just had to. I love you. She just saved my life." I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason, and I use the words of a wise mentor, "This too shall pass." A Hebrew inscription from a Jewish wisdom folk tale. Whatever it is that we're going through at the moment, it will pass. Some people are given wings, others have gifts, while others have to find their meaning. And in my case, my wings were given to me and I learned my gifts, which in turn helped me find my purpose. I appreciate my gifts, which are drawing and writing, and found my meaning, which was to help someone else. Therefore, I took advantage of those gifts and decided to write this book, Absolutely Nothing. I found out the one thing I was born to do. It did not hit me in a day or two. It took me some struggles and attempted suicide in 3 weeks in Miami Children's Hospital Psychiatric Unit. But I found out what I was meant to help, and that is what we're all here to do. The purpose we serve in our lives, some time or another, through some way, shape, or form, is to save someone else, and it is the best gift you can give anyone, including yourselves. When I was in the MCH in my psychiatric unit, I realized I was not the only one going through depression. My mind opened up to the fact that there are many people who suffer from various disorders, and no matter what problem one is going through at the moment, they are not alone. One of the worst things an individual can do is to confine and restrain themselves from speaking about their feelings, to be closed-minded about seeking help, and closing out their opportunities for help like therapy. Even though this book explains my unraveling life story in black ink on paper, this book is intended to have others be aware that not just suicide, but many other issues do occur. It does happen and no one is alone in it. It is especially directed towards making a difference in the life of someone when it is especially directed toward making a difference in the life of someone when in a time of desperation, just like it has been a help to me. Most importantly, with this book, I hope to one day know that I reached out to someone. They allowed me to go into their heart through literature, made a difference in the world, and hopefully in the end, saved a life, even if it is unknowingly. In the end, that will be what I would love to accomplish with this book, because this book to me has meant more than just having put my life out there. It has meant to me that I am an individual that can make a difference and be a help to someone in an important way through words. And like Payne Sawyer from One Tree Hill once said, at this moment there are 6,471,818,671 people in the world. Some are running scared. Some are coming home. Some tells lies to make it through the day. Others are just now facing the truth. Some are evil men at war with good, and some are good, struggling with the evil. There are 6 billion people in the world, 6 billion souls, and sometimes all you need is one. I hope there will be something in my story that changed your life today. Hopefully some healing words of one like me who found herself astray. Hope it touched that part inside your heart that said to go on living. Go out there and help another soul who is out there feeling lost. And you just might be their one. Just as I hope for someone to read my book and for me to be a change in their life. Because 100 years from now, all that will be remembered will be the difference made in someone's life. Thank you again for your time and attention.